Hey everybody, figured I would make a video on a pretty badass coupe Mustang I've got in the shop. So, been working on this one for a little bit, just about done with it, and figured I'd show everybody this car. So the owner of the car said it was alright for me to make a video on it, make a post about it. So figured I would show you what it is. So if this looks semi-familiar and you are on YouTube and you know Turbo John, this is Randy Eller's car. So I believe they've documented quite a bit of the build and you know the repaint and all that stuff, the engine, on Turbo John's YouTube channel. But if you haven't seen it, you should go check out his page. So anyway, this is a small block Ford. It is the new CID SC2 heads. So yes, those things look like they came off of a big block, but they didn't. This is a small block Ford. So awesome engine, Shelby block. RFD did the cylinder heads. It's a Shelby aluminum block. This is as bad as it gets when it comes to a small block. Precision 118, and it's dry sump. You know, all the bells and whistles. This one's on alcohol, and obviously Holley. You know, if I'm doing it, it's Holley. There's a Pro 600 in this car, as well as a Dominator and a Smartwire. So before I show you the inside and what I've done, here's the intake. Waiting on the lightened intake to be here. It's supposed to be here Friday, so they CNC lighten this, and I think the port program was off a little bit on this one, so I'm going to be shipping this one back to RFD, and then you know, when the new one gets here. So here's the elbow, throttle body, 123 millimeter throttle body. I had to take the dry sump tank off to swap it over to a 12-1 crank trigger. So this had a 36-1. In my experience, this type of power, especially if an engine revs fast like this, it's best to get away from the 36-1, go to a 4 magnet or a 12-1. So what I did was I reused, like, I didn't touch his bracketry or anything that's holding the sensor on. I just pulled off the little sensor mount, and where did I put it? There it is. So here's the sensor mount. So what I did was I did this on my own car too. I drill it out with an 11/16, and then you tap it with a 3/4 16, and it leaves you enough meat there, so you don't have to replace this and the bracket and everything. So if you currently have a 36-1 and you're using the M12 thread sensor, you can go to the 3/4 16 sensor without a problem. So I just have to tap it. Haven't done that yet, but that's on my to-do list, which is in here and here. We have to put together the valve train, so I'm gonna put together the valve train for them. They've already checked push rod length and got the correct length push rods, and you know, geometry is all right and everything. So really, all it is just nutting and bolting it. Here's the engine harness. So nice, compact, booted, suited and booted. So on this one we used, so this car had dual Maven bulkheads in it, so it wasn't going to work well for this application. So I made a plate. Actually, a friend of mine made a plate for me, and we filled up the hole that was there, and then I just centered up a 55-pin mil-spec connector there. So Mad Racing Products EGT bulkheads. So these are pretty awesome. We put these on a lot of cars. So if you need some, let us know. Or you know, you can get them from Glenn at Mad Racing Products as well. He makes them in-house. So this is actually the Holley Egt Kit. We just used their bulkheads, clean things up a little bit, make serviceability a lot nicer. So 2 bump buttons for the to bump the engine over if you're running valves and whatnot. Jason Brazel, I believe, did the turbo kit. Came out really nice. So nice and tight, fits well, flows well, looks good. So I'm sure it'll run good. So the CDI coils are on Maven performance mounts. So they're there. And now inside the car. So I didn't really I should have done a better job documenting this one. But this is the wiring panel, right? So like right up front, you know, obviously we have a dominator. Tucked in the back here is a Smartwire. Right there is our EGT module. We've got a Davis profiler EFI module. And the G meter is actually up, kind of hard to see. G meter's up in here as well. And then we've got 3 solid state relays there for trans brake and, you know, a couple other things. So this panel actually worked out really well. Matt at Performance Fab, you know, made this for me and then just, you know, broke it on the sheet metal brake. You can see kind of make it a little bit more rigid. And then Randy had some, oh, here we go. Randy had some clamps that he was using to hold aluminum panels here, so I just reused them and, you know, just repositioned them. There we go. It's kind of hard to see, but we're upside down. Is what it is. So, so this is sitting on top of the bar, and then under the bar, again, don't mind my mess here, but there's the Pro 600. See, there you go. You can see the little bar clamps. They're made by like All-Star, I believe. So underneath the bar is the Pro 600. So I have not ran the coil harness out yet, or the coil harnesses out to the Pro 600, but I will be doing that as well tomorrow. Matt also made me a battery mount, worked out perfect. So the goal here was to keep everything short, light, and tight. So we've got our disconnect here, right there. And then we've got a E-stop here at the shifter. There'll be another E-stop, you know, a push-pull in the back of the car to be able to kill the battery, so he can kill the battery from the seated position in the car or, you know, for safety reasons in the back. We've got, this car has got a Racepak IQ3 dash in it. So there's your V-net cable. He didn't have a line lock in the car, but we had like 2 or 3 extra, you know, or we had a bunch of extra outputs for in the Smartwire. So I just stubbed it out for a line lock, a brake light switch. Not that, you know, he wants them or anything. I just figured might as well while we're in here. So so anyway, that's all the wiring in the car. There's our boost control solenoids. That's pretty much all the wiring in the car. It's this is quite the large deviation from the last job. This one was very compact and simple and straightforward. I think it came out pretty well. So we used battery bulkheads up here, the boots off of it because stuff to tie in a couple things, but other than that, this one's just about done. I figured I'd show y'all, you know, kind of what we're working with. So that's not the intake. That's the intake. That's for something else that we're not going to get into. And there's dry sump tank, yada yada. Valve train stuff. This stuff is all top of the line, badass stuff. This T&D shaft rockers, they're steel. Enormous Manton push rods. I mean, this thing's going to be a beast. So I'm really looking forward to hearing this one run and seeing it run down the racetrack. So, and I'm sure Randy is as well. Him and John and everybody else involved have built a heck of a car here. So I'm glad that we were able to be a small part of it. So anyway, when I have this one done and fired up, I'll make another video of it. So, all right, see you.